Yeah, what up? It's your boy Rob, coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. Smash the like button, drop your boy a comment. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, then do that. Hit the bell twice. It's free. Costs you no money. Costs you no money and could possibly help your boy make money. So do that. So, people talk about the topic of colorism all the time. I did some videos where I was discussing a lot of the issues that are going on in the Black and Asian communities as far as the COVID-19 and the crimes and different things like that. And I showed a article about colorism in the Asian community. Now, in the circles on social media, and a lot of my observation when it comes to colorism being discussed in terms of the gender war, particularly the gender war in the Black sector, you see a lot of people say, well, colorism isn't a real thing. Colorism is an excuse for people who are ugly. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. It's one of the things that I kind of differ in my beliefs about. There's a large sector of people who feel that way. I tend to disagree with that. I believe that colorism is indeed alive and real. Because in my opinion, it's kind of difficult to make a case and say that colorism doesn't exist when we already know that racism absolutely exists. And colorism is like micro racism junior. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there, and everybody's entitled to their opinions. I respect everybody's opinion. But this is just something that I would like to use to substantiate my critique and something to substantiate my talking point of, yes, I do believe that colorism is an issue. Because for one, if colorism is an issue within the Black community, if it's a problem in the Asian community, as far as skin color and as far as social class, if it's evidenced in two different races, then the concept of it has to exist in some capacity. So in my opinion, it's kind of hard to invalidate that. Now, if we remove the race element, if we keep the race element and we look even further into the lens and we consider the gender element, again, a lot of times when it comes to men will say colorism is an excuse for ugly women. But what about the colorism that occurs within men? Light-skinned dudes out of style. Tall, dark, and handsome. No, I'm just playing. I'm just talking shit. But I found an interesting video by Abba and Preach, and I just did a reaction video to Abba and Preach. As it was one of the ones where I kind of disagreed with some of the things that they said, but I still got love for Abba and Preach, man. They're good YouTubers, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to them for hitting that 1 million mark. So I got another video by these two Canadian brothers. And this one, I believe it's them reacting to a video about a young man who has some serious issues about his color. So I'm going to shut this music off, all right? And I'm going to change this screen here so that you guys can see the entire video clearly. And we're going to go and we're going to talk about this. So let's watch.
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I know I'm ugly too.
So this nigga starts out saying, I ain't gonna lie, I know that I'm ugly too. And as you can see, he's got this snitch idiot. So this dude right here was talking to this dude right here. And we all know Vlad TV is a snitch. I don't know why people even still, first of all, I don't understand why people gave him the platform that they have. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people who do content like him. A lot of hip hop creators, you know what I mean? And Vlad TV is a toxic element that has entered the hip hop community. A lot of people going to jail as a result of the interviews that he does. His interviews are demeaning. As far as I'm concerned, Vlad TV is the individual version of a world star hip hop type thing. And he's unapologetic about it. I mean, he doesn't care, but I mean, it is what it is. This is a capitalistic society that we live in. He's found a business. It's clearly working. He's got over 1 million followers and people still just give the guy business. I don't get it, but let's continue.
You think you're ugly?
Little piece. I still get.
So this dude he starts off thinking that he's ugly. My question is, why would any person think that they're ugly, male or female? Why would you look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm ugly? Now, the thing is that I find this completely different. Okay. When people say, you know, they get on Kevin Samuels' case about rating women. First of all, he asked them to rate themselves. Second of all, the rating is an all-encompassing aspect. Yes, looks do have a lot to do with it, but you can also present your looks a certain way as well, which will enhance whatever you rate yourself or whatever people rate you as. This guy says, I know I'm ugly. When you feel ugly, you project yourself as ugly. I've seen dudes, you know, who I would be very shocked that they were with the person that they were with. You know what I mean? But they don't project themselves as ugly. They have confidence. And that confidence definitely comes across. It overshadows what your physical appearance looks like with an aura. And people can feel and pick up on that aura of confidence as well. So already, after this guy says that he's ugly, you just look at him like he's less than. You know what I mean? And that's nobody's fault but his. Let's start over.
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I know I'm ugly too.
You think you're ugly?
Little piece. I still get tripping. I still be on my fly man though. I know that's why they be talking about he ugly, but I still yeah, I already know. But I ain't these hoes. I got a wife.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You wifed up?
Yeah.
Remember there was a whole Kodak thing about how he prefers light-skinned girls?
So there now we talking about an element of colorism, and you see who brought that up. It was Vlad, you know what I'm saying?
Light-skinned girls are easier to control, I guess. Something like that. Are you on that?
I ain't gonna lie. What he say? I'm already black, I don't need no black.
Right, that's what he said.
That is crazy. Again, I'm not somebody that has an issue with interracial dating. I'm not somebody that has an issue with people liking light-skinned girls or people liking dark-skinned girls. But this right here is just self-hating and ignorant. I ain't gonna lie. When he said, I'm already black, I don't need no black bitch. I don't understand that logic. If there's anyone who can understand the logic of what he just said, please type it in the comments. Hit your boy up. Let me know. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I can't have no cut like, I know if I'm black, right? I'm black.
Yeah, black is beautiful though, man.
See, and even Vlad is making fun of him. He says black is beautiful, which black is beautiful. This dude, you hear like a lot of women dragging men. You know what I mean? And you know what they used to say, well, they still say it. They call men dusty. You know what I mean? For a lot of different reasons. And the thing is, you know, a lot of people are very guilty of those criticisms. They deserve every bit of them. But it's not every man. Just like every woman is not guilty of the criticisms that men give women. You know what I'm saying? But there are those sectors, you know what I mean, that give the talking points. And my guy right here is most definitely providing women with talking points. When they talk about a conquered man, that's there you go right there. This cat right here.
So I know if I f a black, we gonna have a black baby.
No shit. Like that's just normal. See, like this is what I'm talking about how this element has crept in, and this is nothing more than propaganda to stop reproduction. It all goes back to the red pill racism, Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, and now how we talk about white people and sometimes white people having subconscious racism. We have our own form of subconscious racism against our own selves, whether it manifests as colorism or whether it manifests as just ignorant, dumbass shit like this. That's exactly what this shit is. It's just ignorant and dumb. This is just ignorant and dumb. And again, like I said, I don't have an issue with people interracially dating. You could call me whatever you want. You could call me a conquered man. You could say I don't have the right to speak for black people, whatever, man. I always say that I don't have the right to speak for black people. I'm just giving my opinions on the way that I see reality, and whatever you can take from it, please do. But this shit right here is an incorrect reason to interracially date. This. This right here is wrong. And it for one, I haven't really seen too many reaction videos to this entire to this whole exchange right here. I'd be curious to see some male and female ones. If you guys know of some, please drop them in the links on the comments thread of this video so I can check them out and I'll react to them too. But this right here, this is some male criticism that needs to be had. And I don't know, man, like sometimes people live in an echo chamber and they see where, you know, it's easy for men to criticize women, you know what I mean? And it's easy for women to criticize men, but this is holistically toxic. The thing is that this dude is saying this dumbass shit, and there's women that say this same dumbass shit. It just happens to be coming out of a man's mouth. It just happens to be coming out of a man's mouth. This is a toxic thought process. You know what I'm saying? When Kevin Samuel said we all need therapy, he was talking about himself, and he's talking about dudes like this. This cat needs therapy. This cat needs therapy. That is, my question would be, and see, he got this from how he was raised. He got this from how he was raised. Everyone in my family is a different color. You know what I'm saying? Does that make me more or less black? I don't know. Some people might say it does. Some people might not. I don't know. But in my family, man, we never, ever talked about anybody because of the color of their skin if they was dark. I had a friend in high school he was a Nigerian dude. And if he might be out there listening, you know what I'm saying? If he is, he know exactly who I'm talking about. And I don't care. That was my homeboy. Black people and white people talked about him because of how dark he was. I never thought that was cool. That pissed me off. I like watching Tommy Sotomayor. You know what I'm saying? I like watching Tariq Nasheed. I don't think it's cool when they, you know, talking about each other, calling people crispy. How you supposed to be proud of who you are if you attacking people in that way? But then we turn around and then as men say that colorism don't exist when I'm sitting here looking at this shit, or I'm sitting here listening to men call other men crispy. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. Like like I said, I got respect for both of them brothers, man. I really like Tariq Nasheed's channel. And I like what he does as far as the information that he puts out. But I like Abba and Preach too, and I don't agree with them on everything. And that's no disrespect to any of the content creators. It's just a critique. We should be able, as men, to critique each other when we don't see eye to eye and walk away with something from it. And I don't agree with this shit right here, man. I don't. I have another friend. People attack him all the time and call him crispy. I don't like that. But then again, I don't make the rules either. And people had freedom to do whatever they do and carry themselves however they carry themselves. I just don't like it. How can we do that and then turn around and say that colorism don't exist? And this is men. This is men doing it. This is a man talking about his male self. And then he's projecting that onto a woman. So a lot of times when we break down women and we talk about what women do, we say, oh, they narcissistic, they project. Yeah, they are. What you thought I was about to say? They ain't. But at the same time, though, you can't say that without criticizing our own narcissism. This dude, I saw a video. I forget who did the video. I think it was Jessica X, actually. She did a video, and it was a review of a woman. I believe it was like an African woman. I'm not sure what country she was from. And I think she lived in the UK. And she was talking about how she only dated white men. And the reason why she only dated white men, as it was revealed in the video, was because the feelings that she had about herself, she projected those onto black men who hadn't approached her. That's exactly what this dude right here is doing, man. That's exactly what this cat is doing right here. He thinks he's ugly. So then he says, you know, I don't want to be with a black woman because, you know, I don't want to have a black baby. My question I mean, to me, that logic is just crazy, man. It's just crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand. And you know what's crazy? Again, like I said, I don't have an issue with people that date interracially. I don't have an issue with interracial dating at all. The only issue that I have with interracial dating is some of the reasons why people find to do it, other than just genuine love interests and chemistry. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand this shit. And I think it's really sad. And I think it's really sad that men and women use this against each other when it's something that's evident in both men and women. And men and women need to deal with it. And the thing is that, it could be because of the racism and things that we deal with here in the country. But at some point, we have to bear responsibility and wake up from this shit and see that we're doing it and get the appropriate remedies to get rid of this kind of mind state. We going to have a black baby. Don't that sound like a Planned Parenthood? Why you think they call that place Planned Parenthood? Do you know what Margaret Sanger's plan was for Black Parenthood? It was to decrease it by decreasing childbirths because she thought people were undesirable. This dude right here is literally speaking a racist red pill talking point. I'm ugly. Why, nigga? Because of facial symmetry? Because of your dark skin? Bro, you ain't ugly. Ain't nobody ugly. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You may not be somebody else's, flavor or somebody else's cup of tea, but there is somebody out there for you. They may or may not be black. But the first step to dealing with that shit is not hating yourself and then projecting it onto other people, man. And by having an interview with somebody like Vlad, he's not going to be able to tell you that shit. Vlad is only on that shit for views. And you sound insane. And insane sells. So guess what? Your self-hatred and your self-loathing just benefited this dude. Just like it always does.
So?
I ain't with that.
Why?
This dude just said he's not with a black man and a black woman creating a black baby. Now, again, I'm not against interracial dating if it's for the right reason. What he is talking about, if his sentiments that he has are what drives him to initially look outside for a woman instead of, just happen to come across somebody that he loves of a different race, that is toxic, man. And the reason why it's toxic is not because of who he's with or who he ends up with. It's because he hates himself, man. This dude doesn't like what he sees when he looks in the mirror. And then he projects it onto other people and justifies his own discrimination based on that. That is a problem. That is a problem. How the hell can people who, consider melanin a blessing and a sign of greatness say that they're ugly when they have the most concentration of melanin? This shit really boggles my mind. And it's sad, man. I feel sorry for people like this.
I'm already black.
So nigga, so what? So what, bro?
I can't. No.
Well, I mean, this is an interesting thing. You know what I mean? Like, so if you have a baby, you don't want your baby to be the same complexion as you? Why?
Wow.
Why?
This a once in a lifetime thing.
What do you mean?
Like, this a dark shade. Hell nah. I can't.
This dude is literally sitting up here saying this to a white man. This dude is literally sitting up here saying this to a white man. That this how he feels about himself. It's bad enough that you look in the mirror and think this shit. But now you sitting up here telling it to somebody else like this is how everybody feels.
I can't have.
Is your mom same shade as you?
Nah.
She's
Hell
like,
nah. My mom like caramel mocha.
okay, so
So? Like, so, nigga? Like,
your dad is darker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, that's boy. You talking about I'm black? You see that boy?
So your dad is actually darker.
Yeah.
man, I hear so many black people talk like this, and it honestly just like it makes me angry, and it breaks my heart at the same time because I don't understand it. I don't, man. I don't get it. I don't get how you could feel this way about yourself. He got this shit from his family. I've heard people say things like this where they talk about, you know, quote, nappy hair versus good hair, hazel eyes and different color eyes. Nigga, like, just be who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? And maximize on who you are and what you got to offer the world, bro. What kind of man are you that you don't want to pass down your genetic traits? That's the ultimate beta. People like to talk about nature versus nurture and natural selection. What kind of man don't want to pass on his own dominant traits? Nigga, you may as well adopt a baby then. I don't get this, man. I don't.
Okay. Has your mom ever said that she doesn't want her grandkids to be?
Nah.
Okay. Because I
And that's crazy. His mom never said that? I wonder if his dad did.
remember I interviewed, Amara La Negra.
Uh.
You know who that is? She's on Love and Hip Hop. I'm going to show you.
It's sad, but it's the truth. I've heard it many, many times. And we are treated differently.
Why does she sound like she's screaming all the time?
Because she's Dominican. All right.
Because we are treated differently.
But she's Dominican.
Like all the words finish differently. Like it all finished going upward.
It was not a joke. I said what I said.
I don't know.
No,
This nigga just said I said what I said.
because it's the...
Don't be Dominican on me. Like you don't have to scream.
No, but it is the Dominican inflection.
It's so aggressive.
We can't manage work like this. That's why I use Monday.com.
Now is the time, you know, if you want to donate to the platform to help get rid of these ads, hit that StreamYard.
What happened to you? Check this.
A lot of Latinos don't want my kind mixed into their family because they...
She's right. They call us miates. She's again, you know what I'm saying? Like I have Latino in me, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, my kids, same thing. I've talked about that before. And she's absolutely right. They got a special name for it. You know, you call you Bardo y Chulos or, you know what I'm saying? Like miate. They don't like it. George Lopez actually did a comedy special and Snoop Dogg was on there. And George Lopez was joking about how racist his grandmother is. And how, because George Lopez is he's a pretty dark-skinned Mexican guy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he like told his grandma, like, you don't like black people, but like, I'm darker than my black friends. Make it make sense. But there's no such thing as colorism, though.
They didn't want to better the race. And better the race means more European features.
Red pill racism. Facial symmetry. You know what I'm saying? Margaret Sanger talking points. Eugenics. Now, Bring it back to the reparations discussion and everybody talking about slavery. But nobody talks about this. This is directly from slavery. And they say, how is it affecting people today? And you literally sitting here listening to this woman basically say the same shit that I'm saying, that I've been saying in a lot of my videos. And you just listen to a self-hating black dude. Now, people talk about Candace Owens. And I criticize Candace Owens and troll her and talk shit about her all the time. But that's one thing I've never heard her say, is that she, like, hates the way that she looks. I've never heard her say that she, you know, she is with a white man and people can criticize that. It is what it is. That shit is petty as fuck. That's who she chose to be with. She's never said that she wanted to be with a white man because she doesn't like black men. She never said that. She just happened to be with a white dude. Same with Serena Williams. And Serena Williams actually had dated black men. So can't nobody sit there and say that any of those two, because they're with white men, that they have an issue with black men. They just happen to be with white men. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? They've never said anything like this. But this dude right here is literally saying this right in front of your eyes. What do you think about that?
Teachers.
That sound like some clown.
No, it don't sound like some clown shit, you little ignorant hood booger. I've done hour-long videos talking about where those sediments came from. That woman, as much as Abba and Preach want to make fun of the way that she's talking, she's actually saying facts, factual shit that can be looked up.
Ain't gonna lie, that sound like some clown.
That's some clown. Straight up.
No, nigga, you're the actual clown, my guy. You're the actual clown. The shit that you're saying is actual clown shit. That woman, as loud and Latina as she might be, was actually dropping facts. She's actually dropping facts.
Straight up. But you're saying that you don't want a kid that's going to be your complexion. But don't you want your kid to look like you though?
But that's what you just said. He calls one thing clown stuff, which is exactly what he's putting out there. And he calls it clown, but he says the exact same thing. He didn't think this through. I don't think...
I'm not mad at him for the
That nigga he doesn't think at all. You can clearly tell that that young man doesn't think at all.
comments he made. I'm not even mad at his person, despite thinking what he said was very toxic. What he wants is not necessarily a bad thing. It's why he wants it, right?
See, and I gotta disagree with Abo on this. What he wants isn't necessarily a bad thing. How is that not a bad thing? What he doesn't want is he doesn't want his genetic traits, which is not a disease. It's just simply a pigmentation. He doesn't want that passed down to his child. How is that not toxic? How is that okay, my guy? You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with that. There's something definitely wrong with that. Whoever you happen to be with, if you make a child, you can expect certain traits to be passed down. It is what it is. Me personally, if I was him, what I would not want to be passed down is that self-hating and self-defeating attitude that that young man harbors. That's what I would be most concerned with. That's what my concern would be.
Like, if you want to date out of your race, or that's not a problem. You know what I mean? Even wanting to date your own race, that's not a problem.
The reason.
Understand why.
So then, I agree with what you're saying, but that was kind of a contradiction on what you just said.
Why is always the motivation behind it. It's like,
to him, black is ugly.
killing someone isn't inherently wrong. Why you kill them is what really matters. Are you killing them in self-defense? Well, in that case, killing them is justified and therefore morally fine. Are you killing them for revenge? Now we're in a different twist.
But at the end of the day, it's violence, and all violence is bad, Abba.
That can't be true. But anyways, in that same token, why you want certain things also matter. Does that make sense? So when he says, I don't want my kid because I don't want my kid to be same complexion as me, right? Well, what's wrong with that? He says, oh, he starts to fumble a bit. And you can see he hasn't thought it through.
To him, black is ugly.
Yeah.
So, see, Preach is like black is, you know what I'm saying? Like, Preach is saying to him, he thinks that black is ugly. Talking about this young man that the video was made. Black is the complexion, my guy. And then Abba says, I get it that he doesn't want to pass down the complexion. That's the whole root of the problem. This whole Preach and Abba are saying two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is very interesting.
Yes. To him, black is ugly.
Yes.
That's his reason.
Yeah.
The reason is that black is ugly and he wants to whiten his gene pool.
Yeah. This is a common thing for a lot of people. A lot of people have internalized issues in those regards with their looks, their features. Like, I know some people who don't want to date some person in the same race because of the noses that are common. I know some people who don't want to date within the same race because they don't want their kids to have slanted eyes. A lot of these things are pervasive in our society and they're unhealthy.
Why would a person not want to have slanted eyes? Because they're of a certain race or ethnicity that has slanted eyes. And because society at large has taught them that there's something wrong with that, and there's not. It's the slanted eyes, nappy hair, dark skin is all the same thing. If you want to take the defining traits that make you, and that is the sole purpose that you're looking for someone who is not the same color as you, or the same race or culture, that's an issue. You should like somebody because of their natural inherent beauty. If you see a woman that's blonde and blue-eyed, or, red hair and blue-eye, or, white, pale, and got dark hair, or somebody that's dark black Nigerian, or a Asian woman with really slanted eyes, if you see that person, the reason why you should be attracted to that person is because of whatever it is about them that naturally attracted you to them, not because you're looking to edit your own gene pool. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's a result of society.
The idea that you're going to try to genetically engineer the right child and eliminate partners based off what features that child might have, to me, seems a little frightening, doesn't it?
That's eugenics, my guy. That is actually eugenics. That is part of what Margaret Sanger thought. I think the other guy's name is Francis Galton. That's what the United States spread throughout the world. It's what Nazi Germany learned from the United States. And it's still pervasive in the attitudes now, clearly. But yet and still, you two literally just did a video where you kind of said that, racism doesn't exist. And we literally have a congressional, black caucus who bumbles daily through a reparations justification, and we are looking at the effects right now of self-hatred and psychology. You want some reparations? Everybody get counseling. How about that? Kevin Samuel said it. How much would that cost taxpayers? People want to say, well, nobody alive today had slaves, and I don't think that it's right for me to pay taxes for that shit. Okay, cool. Next time we get in a war, and I don't agree with the war, like I didn't agree when we dropped bombs on Syria because of a false flag siren gas attack that we were actually responsible for. Cool. I'm gonna stop paying taxes then, because I don't believe that. I'm not gonna fund that. No, I live in this country, so I gotta help pay for the military. It's part of the damn law. That's just what it is. I don't have no hatred towards any group at all. I didn't come over here and, take land from Indians. But when Barack Obama set aside all of that funding for indigenous Americans, guess whose tax dollars funded it? Mine and white people's and other people's who were here in the country. Same logic. It doesn't hold up. When Obama earmarked $12 million for Holocaust survivors, guess who paid taxes still? I don't have an issue with, Holocaust survivors. I didn't cause a Holocaust. I would have never participated in that. And I don't even live in that country, nor have I ever lived in a European country. Matter of fact, the United States actually fought and helped liberate those people. Same logic that they use about the Civil War. But everybody happily paid their taxes and nobody said anything about it. But when it comes to reparations being brought up, it's a divisive issue. And then, you know, you got people like Abba and Preach who, you know, they say, whatever, fuck it. Oh, man, you got 1 million followers. You got to be more responsible with your content and journalism. You know what I'm saying?
Not to you, because it shows to me that we're dealing with self-hatred when we're making with choices. Yeah, we hate our own insecurities, and so we're letting our insecurities drive what kind of partner we're looking for, and therefore also what kind of kids we're going to produce.
So how is that not colorism? All of the males who say that colorism is an excuse for women who are ugly, Abba is basically saying his assessment of what he felt that young man was projecting. And I agree with his assessment for the most part. So if that is the case, then how is colorism non-existent? And if it is existent, it's a female deflection of being ugly. When this kid right here clearly used it because he thinks he himself is ugly. And he bases that ugliness himself on his dark pigmentation. I've never thought that I was more attractive than anybody because I'm the complexion that I am. I don't get that. I don't understand. There's a whole slew of different people, white, black, Asian, Latina, that I think are attractive. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about that shit. That's just who the fuck I find attractive. It's not because I hate my damn self. It's just because of who I find attractive. Different things that I like. It's just me as a person. I like to try different foods. I like to watch different kinds of TV. I like to investigate different cultures. I'm a curious person. That translates into the way that I, am attracted to people. It doesn't have anything to do with me and how I perceive myself. But there is people out there that do perceive themselves that way and they project it onto other people. And that is toxic, man. That is bad.
But what happens when we don't get the kid that we want? How does that insecurity manifest with them? Let's say you do everything you can and your kid still gets slanted eyes. How are you going to interact with them? Where did he learn that his dark skin was somehow less attractive? That's the questions that...
Colorism, man. Caste system. Slavery. Indoor-outdoor slavery. Children and descendants of slave masters. That's how, man. That is how. That still affects us today. You know what I'm saying? But what I find interesting is when it comes to what I think is called HR 40, that's never brought up. It is never brought up. One of the things that they want to try to prove is how things that happened all these years ago affect us currently. You literally just had a woman here who was a black Latina who is not in the United States, you know what I'm saying, who literally said the same exact thing. And her ethnicity was an ethnicity that was created because of Spanish and Portuguese integration into where she was at, or because of human trafficking that was done by Portuguese or Spanish. So this literally is pervasive. You know what I mean? And those things are still affecting people to this day. They not only affect, the people who bear, the skin complexion, but those attitudes also bear, and cause impressions on the people that don't. And that shit's not normal. In a natural environment where these things didn't exist, you know what I'm saying? Those would not be normal. So if they are still here, if remnants of those things are still here, then that means that some of those thought processes are still pervasive. And that is a undeniable way of things that happened years ago still affecting us to this day. That
I'm interested in. Because he didn't come to that himself. He said his mom never said anything like that. Maybe his dad did. Maybe society did. We don't know. Mm-hmm. He's not even aware of how bad what he's saying is.
I totally agree. And I think we get the gist of this. You know what I'm saying? We've already been into this video 5 minutes and 48 seconds. I don't think Abba and Preach will show the rest of that video. Yeah, they don't show any more of it. So, you know, that's where I'm at with this. I think that this is a real sad situation. And I think that, you know, colorism does indeed exist. And people need to acknowledge it. People need to look into it. Denying the fact that this is existence and it's not just an excuse for people to, you know, say that, you know, an excuse for their ugliness or whatever. I think that if people say that colorism is an excuse for being ugly, I think that that honestly further reinforces attitudes of colorism and self-colorism that this dude clearly exhibited. And I think that that's sad. And, you know, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my assessment of this video? Do you agree or disagree with my assessment of Abba and Preach? Let me know. So, that being said, that's it, man. That's the end of this video. If you made it this far, man, thank you for watching this video all the way through to the end. If you are interested in watching more content, then make sure that you hit all of the links at the end of the video. Make sure that you hit the links that the bots put into the chat, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.